Hello, my little butterflies, and welcome back to Revelations of the Scarf. This chapter was written by me, the art was done by Lazy, and for the voice actors, I'll be playing the narrator and Plagg.
Hi, I'm Lazy, and I'll be playing Marinette.
Hi, I'm January, and I'll be playing Adrien and Nino.
We want to thank you so much for all of the support, and I literally had so much fun writing this chapter, and seeing Lazy's comments to it was the funniest thing ever. So I hope you enjoy it just as much as we did. Now, anyway. Chapter 3. Today will be better. You're an idiot, you know that? Plagg said to Adrien while looking at his cheese. Adrien glared at the black flying orb.
And why would you say that?
He questioned. Do you want to know what I saw today while sitting in your bag and occasionally poking my head out? Plagg asked.
Why were you poking? Okay, never mind. Yeah, sure, tell me.
Adrien said. Plagg looked up at Adrien with a creepy smirk, staring into Adrien's soul, making a shiver shoot through his body. Plagg then bit his lip slightly, making Adrien very uncomfortable.
What the hell are you doing?
Adrien asked in confusion and in a bit of fear. I'm you, Plagg said, while continuing his stare.
What? No, can you stop that? You're creeping me the hell out.
He said when he saw Plagg's face again. Plagg stopped making the face and started laughing. That was the exact face you were making at Marinette almost every time that I poked my head out and saw you.
It's not true, I was not.
Adrien started. Plagg grabbed Adrien's phone and typed the password in. See, I thought you'd say that. So... He turned the phone around to show a picture of Adrien making almost the exact same face that Plagg was making earlier. I took a picture. For proof. Adrien cringed, seeing his face.
Please tell me that's photoshopped.
Adrien said. I don't even know what that is. Plagg said, then shut the phone. Just for my sake, please don't make that face ever again. Adrien lay down on his bed.
Jesus, I need to get a hold of myself. That was...
The most embarrassing experience that I've ever seen between two humans, Plagg said while examining his cheese. Adrien groaned, shoving his pillow on his face to muffle the scream.
I'm gonna pull it.
No, you won't, Plagg said. Adrien took the pillow off his face and glared. What? I'm just stating the obvious.
Okay, I promise tomorrow I won't do any of that stuff. I'll just be normal.
Adrien said, trying to hype himself up. So let me give you some advice. Stay home, Plagg said.
No, I'm not staying home. I have to talk to her. I need to understand why she did that. And why didn't she tell me? She let me talk about how my dad made that scarf for me. And just let me praise him for making me such a thoughtful gift. But it was always her.
Adrien said. Plagg looked at him with puppy eyes, but they disappeared as he shook his head. Yeah, that was too many words. Humans are confusing, Plagg said, and then flew off to avoid making this conversation more, as Plagg would have wanted to phrase it, icky.
Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better.
He repeated those 4 words like a mantra, engraving his plan into his head. He kept the words in his head while doing homework and eating dinner, even while he was laying in bed. It was the last thought on his mind before he fell asleep. When Adrien woke up, the same mantra replayed in his head when he realized that he was going to see Marinette in an hour.
Today will be better. Today will be better.
He jumped out of bed and started to get dressed, making sure that his outfit would fit with his scarf. He tried to get out of his house as quickly as possible so that, if by the off chance Marinette's there, he can talk to her. Adrien arrived to see the classroom empty, not even Miss Bustier in sight. He sighed and sat down, taking out his phone so that he could kill time until class started, in 20 minutes. Psst! Adrien heard a small whisper. He looked down at his bag and saw Plagg sticking his head out. Adrien looked around to make sure no one was around.
What Plagg?
He asked. Shouldn't you be thinking of what you're gonna say to her? Because I swear to God, Adrien, if I see that ugly-ass face again today, I'm gonna wake you up by putting camembert by your face every morning, Plagg whispered. Adrien glared at the mythical creature, but then looked away, realizing that what he said had a point. Today wasn't gonna be any better if he hadn't changed anything he did. He stared into space, thinking about what he was gonna say to Marinette. Adrien looked around again.
I don't think I can talk to her. I don't want to look like a blabbering idiot.
You already do, Plagg interrupted.
Shut up, Plagg. I want her to figure it out herself.
Adrien said. Okay, then do that. Give her signs that you know, Plagg said. Adrien nodded, then turned away from the Kwame and stared into space again. Adrien got knocked back into reality with the voice of his best friend.
Dude, you're here early.
Nino said. Adrien awkwardly laughed and looked to the clock. The 20 minutes went by in a blur. He watched his students start to shuffle in, the clock ticking down to the final seconds before the bell rang. And within the last 5 seconds, the blue-headed girl that Adrien was waiting for barged in. Adrien smiled, and looked under the scarf with a smile.
You made this. She took the time to sew me a gift.
Marinette sat down behind him, taking her regular seat as the class started. From behind him he heard a gasp, and then hushed whispers between Alia and Marinette. He leapt facing forward, but he picked up on one thing.
He's wearing it again!
Marinette whispers screamed, but evidently not very quietly. As class continued, he kept fidgeting with the scarf, admiring the silky quality, and occasionally he would run his fingers on the rough surface, but he knew that underneath his fingers was the gold lettering that he spotted a few days before. Adrien didn't talk to Marinette at all during that class, not wanting to freak her out and give her, as Plagg put it, the ick, but he promised himself that he'd talk to her during passing and during next class. As the bell rang, he picked up his stuff and turned back to Marinette.
Hey Mari, do you want to walk to class with me?
Adrien asked. He saw Alia give Marinette a look, but Marinette nodded her head, then turned back to him.
Yeah, sure.
She said and picked up her stuff. They started walking to class in silence, Marinette not looking like she had any intention to start a conversation, so he took a deep breath and turned to look at her.
How, are you today?
He asked. Her eyes went wide.
Oh, I'm okay. Tired.
She said, but broke eye contact to look at his neck, but most likely at the scarf wrapped around it.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Silence.
The scarf. You're, wearing it again today.
Marinette said. Adrien smirked in his head, but didn't let it show on his face for the sake of not wanting to get lectured by Plagg later.
Yeah, I love the scarf so much. It's so beautiful, and whoever made this is very talented, and I just really wanted to thank him.
He said. She looked in confusion.
Didn't your dad make it for you?
He smiled at her.
I don't know. He's never made anything so simple, and it's nothing like anything he's ever made previously.
Marinette looked scared, like she didn't want him to know that she made it, but before she could respond, they reached the classroom. She opened her mouth as if to say something, but shut it and then moved towards her seat. Whenever he looked at Marinette, she was zoned out and she looked terrified. When he looked at the paper, nothing was filled out except one blank. Name. And it was filled out with her name written in beautiful cursive, identical to what was sewn into his scarf. Adrien coughed slightly to get her attention. She looked up and made eye contact with him.
You okay?
He asked. She gave a small smile, which Adrien was able to tell was fake. Then she faded out of reality and went back into her thoughts. She knew. Surely. She knew that he knew, and he knew that she knew he knew. And he prayed to God that she'd be the one to bring it up. The class passed to not another word was exchanged between the two. The same for the next period. Then before he knew it, he was walking towards his car. He looked at the ground in anguish. He didn't even make that much progress with her today. If anything, he might have been the reason she felt like crap. He looked at the window with the entire car ride, and once he was home, he went to his room as quickly as possible. Once the door was shut, Plagg emerged from his bag and flew in front of his face. Today was a little better.
Hi there. It's been about, a month or two since the last chapter of Rots. We're incredibly sorry about that, by the way. The last month or two have been filled with so much achievement as the school year came to an end. For January, it meant graduation. So we decided to take a quick break from my channel to focus on end-of-school activities and finals. This summer, we're planning on finishing Rots and The Broken Mirror Season 2, as well as one of the other series we have yet to announce the name of. Because January is going to college this August, we aren't sure how much he's going to be part of our channel, so we're basically just going to be trying to pump out a bunch of chapters before August. In this chapter, Flynn was a little sick, if you noticed how stuffy their voice sounded, and January connected the wrong microphone, so our audio wasn't the best. So stick around, and thanks for sticking around. Also, at this point, we are less than 200 Spotify followers away from 1,000, which is genuinely insane. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast/videos. We love all of you so much.